In today's news, government of the BVI embraces the Transparent Commission of Inquiry that was launched yesterday by the Governor of the Virgin Islands, and an 11-week solar energy technician training began yesterday at HLSCC. We have all the details.
As well as after yesterday's announcement from our governor, the residents of the BVI is seemingly questioning the governor's motives, as well as we see where Police Commissioner Mark Collins to take up his role in April. All this and so much more when 284 News returns.
2020 posed its challenges, but thankfully, many community-minded individuals and businesses came to the forefront when needed. The BVI Red Cross would like to thank all the sponsors for their teamwork in ensuring the needs of the community were met all of 2020. The BVI Red Cross would like to thank the BVI public for your continued support throughout the year. Happy New Year from the BVI Red Cross. Let's make 2021 great with the power of kindness.
It is a terrific Tuesday here in the British Virgin Islands. Of course, Tuesday, January 19th, 2021. My name is Javon Wilson.
And I am Kyla Kenesha Forbes. Now, Javon, when you said that it's a terrific Tuesday, I definitely missed our co-anchor Ron there.
Of course, that's his favorite word.
Yeah, of course we're missing him, but wishing him all the best as he's out during this time.
All right, viewers, lots going on the local scene. First of all, we have just about 40 students who began training yesterday as it relates to solar energy. It's a big step for the BVI, and we do see BVIHSA, which is our high school, being able to benefit from the solar system as well, being able to save hundreds of dollars. So now persons will be able to be aptly qualified in this industry, this new industry that the BVI is now exploring via a collaboration between HLSCC and the government of the Virgin Islands. So we'll be getting into that a little bit shortly. And Biden, of course, Joe Biden's, he's offering an 8-year citizenship path for immigrants. So this, of course, lends to his immediate plans to roll back Trump era after his inauguration later this week.
As well, Javon, over at HLSCC doing more amazing stuff. They have an EMT training. This is the first EMT training to be done in the territory of the Virgin Islands. So that is definitely great stuff. But Javon, we have so much to get into today. So
absolutely. So let's just jump. Absolutely. Now, yesterday we touched on this a little bit, viewers. Now, the government of the Virgin Islands has pledged support for the governor's launch of a commission of inquiry into the corruption at government levels here in the BVI. Now, shocking, some might say, but certainly a reality for us as we examine what has been alleged over the past years by successive governments. Now, this was confirmed by the territory's leader himself, Honorable Andrew A. Foy. So if you missed the press release, listen in.
Your BVI government says Transparent Commission of Inquiry is welcomed. The Commission of Inquiry Act Cap 237 Section 2 specifies that, and I quote, "It shall be lawful for the governor whenever he shall deem it advisable to issue a commission appointing one or more commissioners or authorizing such commissioners or any quorum of them therein mentioned to inquire into the conduct or management of any department of the public service in the territory or of any public officer of the territory, or of any parish or district, or into any matter in which an inquiry would, in the opinion of the governor, be for the public welfare. Each such commission shall specify the subject of inquiry." End of quote. Starting in March 2019, weeks after taking office, your government, this government administration, under the leadership of yours truly, Andrew A. Foy as Premier, made and continue to make inquiries of Governor Augustus Jaspert concerning the steps to be taken in an effort to clear the names of accused persons in relation to any of the 3 major investigations that were conducted by the Public Accounts Committee, the Auditor General, and/or the police, namely 1. the Pear Park Project, the BVI Airways, the Elmo Stout High School Whirl. The Act directs that any inquiry shall be specific. If there exist other specific concerns which have not been examined by the Public Accounts Committee, the Auditor General, or the police, this should be clearly stated and due process allowed. As stated on numerous occasions by the Governor, a commission of inquiry would only be conducted based on facts and not rumors and unfounded allegations. Governor Jaspert further stated to cabinet members on numerous occasions that to ensure due process, all government institutions established to ensure accountability, transparency, and good governance would be allowed to function and produce their reports. It is only after these stages of the process are completed and investigations deemed inconclusive would the way be paved for a commission of inquiry. This has always been the process followed because it is the only process that allows for good governance to function in a manner that keeps the tenets of democracy sacred. Until further details become available, the government of the Virgin Islands will reserve all other comments.
Now, Kyla, some may consider this to be surprising, but we've seen recently the consistent spatter between the governor's office as well as the government of the Virgin Islands. So I know a lot of persons are really surprised that the government is actually on board with this commission of inquiry because there are persons in the community, of course, alleging that this is being done with ulterior motives. Now, seemingly, this is something that they agree on, and some persons have said they should agree with this. I think anybody who does not agree with a commission of inquiry into our government affairs, especially when there has been so many damning allegations, is somebody who, quite frankly, is probably guilty. We have been reckoning for accountability. We have been calling for transparency in the way taxpayers' money is spent. It is time for us to stamp out cronyism and the lies, because we've been hearing about that too, even as, and especially between certain statutory boards. So it indicates for the first time that finally we are seeing a concrete step being taken to deal with some of these matters. Now, while this process might turn out to be a grueling and possibly nevertheless long process, we need to be reminded again that all of us still have a responsibility, Kyla, whether it's the governor, the government of the Virgin Islands, the members of the opposition, or even generally the populace, the people of the BVI. We all have a responsibility to ensure that we are protecting the name of the BVI. And I think this is the thing that really tickles persons the most about this situation. The fact that even before certain local media houses would have been able to secure this information, it hit international media and not mediocre brands. These are some of the biggest brands. And we have to take into consideration the previous attacks that we've had from international jurisdictions as it relates to our financial services industry and how daunting and damaging that could be. Similarly, we see this might take the same approach. So overall, I just feel like while we are all looking forward to this inquiry coming through in a transparent process, at the same time, we want to make sure that we're not damaging the BVI. And once the process is done, the BVI can still survive.
Javon, it's very funny that you are saying this, because I think as we look across social media and speaking to persons in our community, we are getting the opinions of the residents of the BVI, and really and truly, this is what this next story really speaks to. Now, viewers, just yesterday, as we are speaking about, the residents of the British Virgin Islands watched as the governor of the Virgin Islands, His Excellency Augustus J.U. Jaspert, announced establishment of a commission of inquiry. In his statement, Governor Jaspert lists a number of allegations that have been reported against present and successive governments of the territory. Now, one resident of the BVI took to social media to express their sentiments on the governor's announcement. He said, and I quote, "The governor has lost my support. The governor's recent stunt has left me questioning his motives. Is this really about accountability? Are you genuinely concerned about good governance? Because in my opinion, the invitation to the international media to attack the territory with sensational headlines is a step too far. This act is reeking with revenge of a bitter enemy and not the purest concern of an ally. The residents explain that they are not against the forming of the commission because they are a strong supporter of good governance. And that's really what you were speaking to, Javon. He continued, and I quote, "Now I am a strong supporter for good governance, and I do believe the government should be held accountable in the management of the people's business. However, given that I consider to be attacked on the territory's financial services by the UK in recent years, I'm beginning to believe there's something more sinister at play here. I could be wrong for entertaining this train of thought, but based on yesterday's deliberate attempt to instigate global condemnation of the BVI, I'm feeling justified in my conviction." The resident is calling for the governor to apologize for his harsh and what seems to be retaliatory media avalanche. He said, and I quote, "I think the governor, if a true ally of the Virgin Islands, owes us an apology for his harsh and seemingly retaliatory media avalanche on the British Virgin Islands." He continued, "The reality is that if the UK and the governor, who are supposed to be looking out for our interests, continue to expose the territory in a negative light, then sooner rather than later, our eroding credibility as a safe and compliant jurisdiction will become damaged and possibly irreversible. I am sincerely concerned, as such I am of the opinion that a bruised ego is not enough to justify the global impression of a completely corrupt territory when that is not accurately the case, especially given the devastating impact this could have on our ability to survive as people. I'll end with this question as a summary of my concern. Is this really about good governance?" End quote. Now, once the news hit, Javon, international media houses, especially from the United Kingdom, immediately rolled out the headlines. Now, one headline from the UK press stated, and I quote, "Millions of pounds of taxpayers' cash fared stolen in corruption in the British Virgin Islands." Now, these headlines were viewed as ambiguous and fallacious, some would say. Now, another resident repost the social media post mentioned above and said, and I quote, "Another perspective and very well written by this Facebook user. I too was concerned yesterday that it was in the UK press and other international media almost before we knew. Was it leaked or was it planned that way?" End quote. Now, residents are questioning the governor's and the United Kingdom's government motive and intentions as this debacle continues to unfold. So, Javon, we see where the people of the Virgin Islands are really speaking to, yes, we're all for it. We're for this commission of inquiry because we do want good governance. But in the way that it was done, and now in the way that the BVI is being portrayed to the world, it's a bit damning.
You know what's sad? What's sad is sometimes as officials we let our ego get intertwined into the business of the people, or the people's business. And I think that is what we're seeing play out here. I think if we really and truly want to uncover what has happened in past years and really hold to the table and hold accountable those persons in the past, but also set a precedence for new governments, we really need to zero in and focus on just that. And again, agreed. I'm glad that the people of the Virgin Islands are speaking up because we are the ones who elect officials to serve us. We are the ones who have to continue to hold officials, even the governor's office,
agreed.
And of course the government accountable. Because at the end of the day, we cannot allow persons to get away. I mean, this is the mere reason why we're here in the first place. Persons feeling like they can do and say as they like. Hence why we have a commission of inquiry. But it's very clear, Kyla, we're clear of one thing, that cannot continue in the Virgin Islands. And the residents of the Virgin Islands are putting their hands up and saying, we will not accept this anymore.
I definitely agree. Now, viewers, still ahead, the HLSCC is really making strides as they commence their solar energy technician training as well as their EMT training. Now, viewers, all this and so much more when 284 News returns.
Hey BVI, it's 2021 and guess what? We are kicking taboo to the curb. Let's face it, the world lacks conversation. So, we are bringing you homemade cocktails, thought-provoking topics, and nuggets to rock your world. A show that promises to keep it fun, frank, and fresh. So, come on this journey with me. This is Keeping It Candid, conversations for the modern world.
The wind. Oh!
What are the hell?
I'm freaking out.
Is time.
284 News.
Coming to you live and direct from the beautiful British Virgin Islands.
What's poppin', what's really good, what's happening, what's up?
Davis has won it for the
Viewers, welcome back to 284 News. Now, Kyla, people are really going in as it relates to this situation.
Yes.
We look across all the media sites in the BVI, and for the very first time in a long time, I think people are really weighing in and being very unfiltered with their opinions as well.
And we're happy to see that.
Yes, absolutely. We want to congratulate persons for really speaking up. And I think this really speaks to the democracy that is still alive and well in the BVI. And like Dr. Richard Georges, who is the president of HLSCC, said just recently at a college event, he said, the people of the BVI have to continue to hold the government and hold officials accountable.
Yes.
Because without doing that, we're not in a position to complain. Like, you cannot be a bystander and be complaining about anything. So continue to use your voices, viewers. As we move on, the HLSCC's Workshop Training Division, Center for Professional Development and Community Education, which is CPDEC, as well as in conjunction with Power 52 Caribbean Energy Institute, which is CEI, yesterday began its 11-week solar energy technician training. Now, speaking during yesterday's ceremony was the Minister of Health and Education, I'm sorry, not Minister of Health, but Minister of Education, Dr. the Honorable Natalia Whitley. And he's really saying that this will definitely help the BVI on its quest to diversify the economy and to provide employment as well as business opportunities for the territory. Listening.
It means that we have to make use of the power of the sun, of the wind, of the water, to cut back on the greenhouse gas emissions that are undoubtedly causing catastrophic events such as Hurricanes Irma and Maria and Hurricane Dorian and all the other superstorms that we have had, which pose a grave impact to our people in this particular region, being in the hurricane belt. So going green was not an option for us. It was a must. It wasn't just a plus, as we like to say. It's a must. But going green also has other benefits, of course. Going green produces jobs. It produces business opportunities. And the Virgin Islands is changing. Our traditional sources of revenue and income are stagnating or even decreasing. And it's important for us to seek other areas of development within our economy. And so we must diversify our economy and look for new revenue sources. And solar is a burgeoning industry in the world, and one in which we intend to capitalize fully on.
Now, viewers, this program is very promising as the BVI head towards a greener economy. Power 52 representative Ms. Kellyanne Few expanded on the many benefits of this collaboration set to benefit our first cohort of 40 students. Listen in.
So we have 40 future solar professionals that will embark on a journey that will transform them. Not only transform them, but transform their families and their communities. Right? They will learn what it takes to design and build solar solutions of all kinds. They'll get a touch of every type of solar solution that's crossing this globe. Most importantly, they will have credentials that will allow them to navigate the entire solar industry, breaking workforce barriers and enhancing their quality of life. And that's why Dr. Georges brought us here, because he wanted to create short courses that will transform and create opportunities immediately, right? That was the goal, and we are so glad to be part of that vision, because as individuals of Power 52, that's really our passion and our purpose as we walk this earth, is to help other people who cross our paths to be enhanced.
Viewers, as you heard, students enrolled in the training are now expected to obtain an in-depth knowledge of construction basics and safety, Solar 101 and maintenance, project management, life and leadership skills, and other components relative to solar energy. Now, this is quite an achievement for our students, definitely quite an achievement for the BVI as we advance towards cleaner, greener alternative options. Skylar, I think with this training, persons will now be prepared and also versed in many basic principles, not only in developing but also maintaining solar-powered energy systems. One of the great things I saw coming out of this press conference yesterday at HLSCC was Dr. Richard Georges, who of course is the president of HLSCC, acknowledging that anyone who becomes certified under this program, their certification will actually be recognized across the world.
Awesome.
And that, of course, is through this collaboration with Power 52, which, of course, is an internationally known brand in training as it relates to solar energy. So, congrats.
I'm very happy to see HLSCC continuing to make those strides in training and educating our people right here in the British Virgin Islands. And we see where the BVI Health Services Authority, in conjunction with the HLSCC Workforce Training Division, Center for Professional Development and Community Education, embarked on its first emergency medical technician, which we know as an EMT training for the territory on January 13th. The first cohort of 12 aspiring EMTs have been introduced to emergency medical care and transportation for critical patients. That is, the program will cover areas such as so much lifting and handling, examination and assessment, airway management, trauma, medical conditions, administrative operations, and so much more. Now, this training will be complemented with a comprehensive curriculum that will utilize a blended approach that consists of both online and practical applications and assessments over a course of 11 months. Students who successfully fulfill all requirements will be certified as EMTs through the Caribbean Association of Fire Chiefs. Now, the instructors, Dr. Dominic Fraser, that is, and Mr. Rodney Bratwitt, stated that they are excited with the introduction of the EMT course as it carves the path for the continued development of the emergency medical services offered to the residents and the visitors of the British Virgin Islands. So happy. Two amazing programs, two emerging programs, and really and truly it speaks to the opportunities that the BVI continues to create for the students and then the people as a whole.
You know, one of the things Dr. Ronald Georges also said yesterday is the fact that under his tenure, one of his goals is to ensure, and even beyond him, just to ensure that HLSCC as an institution is able to create professionals that can function anywhere across the world. And I think by continuing to offer a diversity of courses, and those opportunities being afforded to local residents in the BVI, but also continuing to lift the standards, is really speaking to that eventual goal that eventually the BVI will be in that position. We're going to go to a very, very quick commercial break, but when we come back, Mr. Collins has been named the new police commissioner of the BVI, and he'll be here in April. So stick with us. You're watching 284 News.
Is business slow? Cash flow down? Hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.
Viewers, welcome back to 284 News. Now, veteran United Kingdom Police Chief and Queen's Police Medal honoree Mr. Mark Collins will take up the post of Commissioner of the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force in April of this year. His Excellency the Governor Augustus J.U. Jaspert appointed Mr. Collins, acting in accordance with the advice of the Police Service Commission in keeping with the procedure outlined in 97 of the Virgin Islands Constitution. Governor Jaspert said, and I quote, "I am delighted that Mr. Collins has accepted the position of Police Commissioner. He will bring a great deal of experience and knowledge to the role." He added that Mr. Collins' leadership experience in particular will be valuable to the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force and continues to build capacity among its leadership ranks. Governor Jaspert went on to thank the Police Service Commission for their role in the recruitment process. He also extended appreciation to the Commissioner, of course, Commissioner Michael Matthews, for his commitment and dedication to the role for the last 4 years. Now, speaking on the appointment, Mr. Collins said, and I quote, "I very much look forward to starting my new role as Commissioner of the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force and serving the people of the BVI. Now, viewers, Mr. Collins will bring more than 33 years of experience in law enforcement to the post. Most recently, he served as the Chief Constable of Daffyd Powys Police in Wales, a position he held for 4 years. Now, prior to that, he served as the Deputy Chief Constable in Bedfordshire and as a Borough Commander of Walthamstow as part of London's Metropolitan Police. Mr. Collins currently serves as the lead officer for mental health matters and for child exploitation in the United Kingdom National Police Chiefs Council. Mr. Collins was also made a Fellow of the University of Wales Trinity St. David in 2019 and was awarded the Queen's Police Medal for his services to policing in Her Majesty's New Year list of honors. Quite a list of accomplishments for our incoming Mr. Mark Collins, who will be the new police commissioner of the BVI. For months, ever since we heard of Commissioner Michael Matthews' position coming to an end, we have been having conversations about how do locals really qualify for this role.
Right.
Most recently, and very shockingly, we heard the Premier of the Virgin Islands saying that unfortunately locals are not qualified, and I think that came as a real shocker. But what he was speaking to is the fact that the United Kingdom has really not done enough to train local persons for that role, being that the role of governor, police commissioner is to oversee security. He thinks that more emphasis should be placed in training persons, or maybe whoever is coming in should have somebody under them that they're training for the position once they leave.
Understood.
But nevertheless, we welcome Mr. Collins. We see that he is more than capable of doing the job, and
Yes.
we look forward to his tenure here in the Virgin Islands.
We welcome him, we welcome him, we welcome him. But we also want to say goodbye to Commissioner Michael Matthews.
Yes.
he has, I would say, has become a part of the BVI family, and we do wish him all the best.
Absolutely.
Now, viewers, that is it for today's news roundup. Be sure to follow us for daily news updates at 284media.com and like us on Facebook at 284media and 284BVI on Instagram as well as Twitter. I am Kyla Kenesha Forbes.
And my name is Yvonne Wilson, saying goodbye. Have a good night.